decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. It creates a new world to mind a shift, intentionality, perceptuality, conceptuality. We are choosing to shift our mind to best for the world, best for our world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional.
Core Parcoeur. What do we say and how do we do? Thank you for inviting me to this intentional engagement, considering our beloved Earth. And thank you for helping me, my professional friends here. Please, who are you?
I'm Monica Fallesen.
And I'm Michael Cillion, Captain Future.
Brilliant. I would like to talk about a specific topic that concerns us all, actually. We're all part of something greater, we know that, for sure. And to begin with, I would like to share a small text that might give you a few reflections. Reflections that are subjective, the matter of conscience, or the hard problem, as Dr. David Chalmers would actually express it. We know that science is objective reality and our conscience is subjective reality. Slightly confusing, still existing. All our science can correlate, all our data, but we cannot explain consciousness. Maybe we can tell other people how we feel and what we do. So, follow, please. Spooky dark matter, good news in all. It is your story whatsoever. All matters contribute. We have our lives connected in something greater. Love is merely an expression of a touch. This touch will bring understanding and will balance peace into our minds. One kind of mind that may be addressed as universal, connective matter, might also be reflected upon via emotional qualities. Our feelings are as part of our consciousness in research, revealing reality. Considering life roughly will ease all mindful abilities in a tailor-made entity, or as an unknown science source once said, it is okay to live a life others don't understand. Love is great. It is far greater than we can understand fully. Love brings hope, joy, harmony, and heals from within. It is also an instrument treatable by honesty. Through all true emotional connection, therefore we may sell, or more accurately, call love the great healer in itself to get along with. We are its maids and tailors. A totally free, unbound source of energy moves us and explores us by electromagnetic fields, acts and strings. It gives us pleasure, fills up, recovers and reconnects. Refill is the key. In times from Edwin Hubble in the 1920s until today, We have scientific exploration of dark matter. We must possibly realize our credible cosmic adventure. Since 1998, Anna Dominguez, our existentials flourish continuously. Our most recent science attract. Do we have parallel lives? Yes. They are bound together. Somehow. Love is a bridge, untouched as it flows, touching. All darkness reveals light, that is, our needs extend it and make us vulnerable, thus touchable. Mind your mind, compos mentis. Mind your mind in respect to each other. And I would suggest that instead of having the fear of artificial intelligence, we should now discuss sharing intelligence. Light and love are the great healers of our inner selves, our souls. So what do you think about this little phenomena?
Light and love. Light has been around for a long, long time, but we are here, flourishing in more light than was ever intended for the universe. So much light we invented, so much light we have shined, so much light we have seen and interpreted. We can interpret patterns and signals from light that no one else could before.
Excellent.
We need the light. I think the world as it is today will need the light more than ever. And I think even if we invented very much light, we need it more than ever right now. And we are not letting the dark get hold of us.
We like it. The dark not getting hold of us. We do believe that people can heal us. I know some of you have, at least I have, met someone that made you feel really great. Maybe you loved somebody or just felt like someone was lovable, which tells you more about yourself. You have the capability of loving. And we have these robes of capability, which feels great. Actually, we can share intelligence. We have a shared community, and we need to listen to each other and be more close to our own emotions, our inner selves. And how do we find those? What do you do to find your own inner self, Monica?
I get energy by other people. That's the way I am.
Yes.
So I need to be around people. And then when I've been around people and I've got a lot of energy, I need to be alone.
You need to be alone.
I need to lay down and close my eyes and put it right in where it belongs, the energy that I collected.
Yes. Perfect. And you, Michael?
Yeah, I'm like a super extrovert. I love connection and I take everything in, and I love the love and the light and the connections in the room. I flourish in it, and I don't need to rest afterwards. I just want more of it, like a light vampire.
You don't need to rest. No,
Not in that
true.
essence. Yeah, I need to rest, of course, but not in that essence that I don't feel that type of fatigue.
No? Oh.
Refill is the key.
Yeah.
Yes, we all need to refill.
How do you refill?
Thank you for asking. Sometimes I don't know. I like nature, of course, as many people would say. Our nature is actually our source of energy and love and light. Everything around us is part of us. And I know that one of our scientists, Stephen Hawking, once said, universe doesn't allow perfection, which is kind of nice.
Interesting.
It means we all flow all the time to help each other.
Yeah.
Even Jung said that. C.G. Jung, the famous psychiatrist. More examples, even Aristotle, the old Greek philosopher, told us. Refill is an act of awareness. And we need to use our senses, the perspectives. And somehow we can actually influence our own everyday. Some people would say you can even influence your reality, which might be a delicate question. So where do we have the limits for what we should do? How much should we share? How much should we be private? I wonder. Is it supposed to share everything? Or should we keep something on ourselves?
Yeah, and like sharing is a funny thing. Like we think we share things by telling it, but then instead we share other things by signaling body language and just being, showing up and being the energy in itself. So we share all the time, but sharing is mostly local for most of human history. Sharing has been with the people around you until we invented writing, and now the internet. Sharing is global. So it's a big experiment of what we share now, and we can't handle it because there's too much, and we focus on, we can get stuck on the negative things, and we can see pattern that isn't even there. So we have this sickness of oversharing because it's so new to us, so we haven't been trained in too much sharing, but we can't stop sharing. We've always been in contact with our surroundings. And there's always been, we've never truly been alone in a hunter-gatherer society, except from very rare occasions. We've always been together, and there's always been a local sharing of who you're feeling and what you're doing.
I think it's fascinating that many people can get very angry, upset or something when people are oversharing. And I don't know why. How can it be that many of us thinks that people that are sharing everything on social media or so on are oversharing? Because what I share is my responsibility, and I don't get it. Why do people get upset by people that's oversharing?
I quote a lot, but I want to quote because I want to give people credit for what they say. Mother Teresa, she was from northern Macedonia. Yeah. She said sometimes, if you judge people, there's not enough time to love them. And I think that is a brilliant, spot-on expression.
It is.
And of course, I'm so happy to hear, we didn't rehearse this, which is fun. And we get this on the go, which makes it more honest. And honesty was one of the words I used in this text. And we are supposed to reflect more than we evaluate, actually. I think that's what the wise people say, I've heard. As you said, Monica. Not oversharing, and you said to Michael.
Yeah.
But how can we heal each other by just touching? Is that possible? Helping each other to heal?
I think it is. I had I go to yoga, and I had a very ache in my arm, so I went to this massage, and it was hurting, and and next time when I went to my yoga class, I said to my yoga teacher, last time it was very much ache in my arm and with pain, and okay. She said, what did you do? No, I went to this masseuse, and I get this massage, and it didn't help anything. And she just put her hand, and she said, sometimes you just need some touch.
Yes.
And it felt so good. It was warm. Her hand was warm, and I just felt healed.
I love it to hear it.
I think you can do that.
Connection.
Connection, yeah.
And it's so missing in a society today. There's so many people living alone without connection, without sharing.
Yes.
And they share all the wrong things on the digital platform instead of sharing things locally, because you can't connect with your neighbors or your family or even your spouse in your own home. You're not connecting on the level you are supposed to connect.
Some people even say you can tell it to the universe, I mean to the surroundings.
Yeah.
But I prefer to tell the universe that I think of a certain person, because I do believe it can heal somebody without the physical touch. We have amazing abilities, which is not explored. And as a matter of fact, today we cannot really do more than correlate. That is, we can figure out what numbers, what perspectives, or what multitudes or measures we use. But we cannot really explain consciousness or our emotional abilities. And talking about artificial intelligence makes it even more interesting to know and learn and feel that the human beings and even animals have the emotional intelligence. We can communicate with a cat. Why is that? I mean, it makes no sense. Do you have animals?
Yeah, I have a cat.
What do you tell your kitty?
Oh, I tell her a lot of things. But my husband and my cat are a couple. I'm just a spare human.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
But we can feel that. We can feel stress even.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more interesting to understand why we do these things.
Yeah. I had a dog and a dog growing up, and I had several cats throughout my life. But there were one special cat. She could see me across a field, and she come running 100 meters afar because she knew it was me, and she slept by my pillow every night. So there was a connection there. I couldn't explain it. We had several cats, but it was only this cat that connected to me. So I felt that connection. She was very connected when she saw me in the forest. When I was out walking the dog, she saw me there, and she come running every time.
She wanted to cuddle up under this capability cape.
Yeah.
Right? So what about universe, the planets? Are we supposed to communicate with the planets, stars?
The stars.
I have no idea.
There's light shining on us, at least. The stars and the moons and the planets and the sun. Ancient light and new light. And we're in love with the light, the night sky.
Yeah.
It can really heal us. That's what I believe. Einstein got this Nobel Prize for the photoelectric effect. You know that? And he found that when a light package called photons charge an electron, I will come back to the electron, by the way, and the electrons are the small particles swirling around the atom nucleus, or the inner self, the inner core, which means that these electrons will be filled up with energy and speed up light, speed up energy, and speed up in heat and processes in your body, in your mind, which makes me so certain that we can do that to each other. Because if you feel somebody is good for you, you can actually feel the energies, which makes your own body tingle and start moving. If you go dancing, or if you're just sitting next to somebody, or just talking, we get all these different signals that we are supposed to cope with. Emotional intelligence, which is so far superior artificial intelligence, in my opinion. And so we have all possibilities of sharing, sharing intelligence, togetherness. Meeting people is a gratitude, and that's also a word I hear a lot, gratitude. To be grateful.
Need to be grateful. Yeah.
Thankful.
I'm a lot of in social media, and there is this hashtag that grateful, and I think it's nice. I think it's nice to share that I'm grateful. I can be grateful sometimes, And I heard someone told me that it's they can't cope with the word grateful. It's kind of your
It doesn't mean the
street.
same in Swedish, so we don't understand the word. Tacksam is not the same as grateful.
No, it's bigger. Grateful is kind of wider.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think it's some people take it like it's I don't know the English word right now. Skryt. What do you say?
Bragging.
Bragging. Yeah, it's bragging. Oh, I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful for my kids. I'm so grateful. I like being grateful.
But we can feel that. It's honesty. If a person is honest, you feel happy when you meet the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they're saying the truth.
Yeah.
And if somebody's lying, we can feel that. I don't know if it tickles your nose or your ear. Somebody, they have different ideas.
Some
Yeah. So I'm so certain you meet people who you can just be thankful, to be more specific, to meet people that really give you the good sense.
Thankful, grateful. Thankful, grateful.
And when you talked about dancing, I can do something that I found out not everyone can do. I can go into deep flow state and trance when I go dancing with other people and feel an energy in the room I can't explain. I can dance in a room without looking and not dance into people. I don't know what happens there and how that happens.
Sounds skillful.
Yeah, but it's something else. Something we can't explain, like consciousness. There's something there. I can touch and feel it very profound, but I can't explain it. And there's very little research and science about it. That we call
About
it
the trance.
deep flow states. Or,
Deep flow state.
yeah, high energy when you're high in pulse, as opposed to low energy flow states when you're low in pulse. You don't have the heart pumping and the blood pumping.
They actually measure. We measure everything. I mean, it's a bit flat, but if you breathe through your left nostril, you will stimulate your right hemisphere and the parasympathetic, meaning the lower and calmer breathing, and your mind will go to sleep easier, which is really good for us because we can let our emotions flow. Because if you're always on the go as a warrior, you breathe through your right, your non-dominant nostril, which activates your sympathetic system, which rises your blood pressure, you gets in defense and fight and flight mode.
There's a yoga setting that you change the nostril breathing in, out, and I can't do it right now, but it's great doing that. I really don't know what it does, but I think the great Hindus, they know something about that.
I think old folk medicine is always to be learned about, so we need to share intelligence. There's some intelligence in the old Indian way, and we have some intelligence in the old Scandinavian way.
Absolutely.
So we need to share the right stuff.
Yeah.
And I do think healing is a really underestimated ability of us.
Healing and grieving. And
Of ours, we can heal more than we do.
Yeah.
It's not allowed to heal. Why? All countries in the world, except for Sweden, use the word healing.
Yeah.
It's not even controversial. You heal somebody. You heal a wound.
Yeah.
Why is that so extraordinary?
But now I can feel your energy. We are not touching each other.
Yes.
No, but I feel your energy. It's very, very strong, and it like that. And I think that's amazing. You can't do that with every person.
No.
With some person you can do that, and that's a lovely feeling. I get warm from your energy. And how do Dr. Michael explain that?
I would say you are relaxed and Michael's very relaxed. Doctor is a kind epithet.
Yeah.
We're all doctors, by the way,
Yeah.
if you want to be. No, I believe if you get stressed, if you have some kind of tension in your body, like when you're talking to people or trying to explain something, you might lose this kind of edge that you need when you're supposed to be relaxed. which is totally human. I mean, we are humans, for God's sake. But if you can feel this warmth, this close by or proxime power, it's a power.
Proxime power.
We have a proxy server, you know, to computer.
Yeah, I know the proxy server.
So proxy is just close by. So proxime power, we have it nearby. And it's underestimated. It's not used, and we have a lot of more knowledge to explore.
We're just in the beginning of the exploration of this.
Yes.
Finally, we got to the state where we can start focus on this.
And I would say start to live, continue to love, and be happy for the light that fills you up from inside. I always think about blind people. How do they do? I do believe that they feel a lot better than I do, because I trust my eyesights. Usually did. It's worse now. But
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I've always thought about how do they do these things when they feel themselves forward.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's amazing. I've met Fatmir Seremeti, he's a blind man who's been a professional football player in blind football. It's called what's it called? Goalball.
Goalball, yes,
Yeah.
I know. They have a bell ringing.
Yeah, they've got a bell ringing,
Yes.
and he's such an amazing person. We went to a lecture, and he wanted some pictures, and he didn't have pictures, and I can send them to you.
Yes,
I
please.
sent the pictures to him, and then he edited my picture. A blind man edited my pictures, and you know, but okay.
How often do you think about that?
It's amazing.
Yes.
It's really amazing. And I asked him, how do you know? He's got a technique that tells him that what it looks like, and it wasn't a good photo because I had a lot of a desk, so he just removed the desk piece.
Wow.
But it's almost extraterrestrial. No,
Magic.
but magic.
Transitional. It's like you're dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel the moves in the room without bumping into people. I would like to have that.
Yeah.
I usually bump into people when I dance. There's no good merit.
But you have seen me dance.
I've seen you dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're in a mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen you dance. You're in a mood. But I also think you are you are relaxed by dancing.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm
way.
completely in there now. I
Yeah,
don't think
you-
about anything
No,
else.
no, not the cute girls dancing around. You're just
Completely in the flow itself.
I think you can hear somebody talk. I mean, the subtitle, what do we say and how do we do? We don't need to say so much. Usually we talk a lot because we try to fill in the air, and it's of course that social talk also. We have that as humans. And Sir David Attenborough, one other of my idols, he said that maybe humanity isn't human after all.
one more time.
Maybe humanity isn't
Isn't
human after all. Because we learn so much from our animal kingdoms, and we can communicate with animals.
Yeah.
And we need to learn more. We need to share intelligence. And that's not just made up, it's inevitable for us to exist. So I feel totally safe when it comes to AI,
Yeah.
because we
me
have
too.
EI.
Me too. And I think the technique makes us want to do more things. Yeah, it makes curiosity. And last year we had this podcast. We had a man here called Marcel Urrutia. He's an engineer in AI. And he had these amazing ideas what to do in care in hospitals, in group homes, and it was amazing. And he really just flourishing by good ideas. And he's an engineer. then he has been working a lot with other people before he went to school and become an engineering. But I can really get impressed by people that get these ideas and want to go further and do nice things to people and make the world a better place with the technique.
Perfect. I think so too. I'm so happy I can share with you, because this makes it more dynamic. And a Swiss Army knife is the first thing I get to think of when you talk about this engineer. AI, or artificial intelligence, is more like a tool to use properly, because we're still so in the beginning of our exploration of ourselves. We even have these deep thoughts, not to mention Albert Hoffman and his LSD trips. He was playing around with some plants and found that they made him really happy and relaxed. Yeah, so science can surely correlate stuff. What about dark matter? I mentioned dark matter. I think of it myself. What is that?
That's for us to find out now. That's
No.
Is it?
Spooky.
Yeah. We're in the beginning of this exploration. This is the next step of our humanity, to explore our place in the universe with dark matter.
The only thing I know about dark matter is what I talk about in the Big Bang Theory. You know, Sheldon in the Big Bang Theory. He wants to be the first one to figure it out.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a bad or a good thing, dark matter. It doesn't need to be bad. I don't think so.
We call it dark because it's unknown.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We call it dark because it's unknown, so we have to. That's an opportunity for us to explore. That's where we have our capability capes.
Oh, right. I forgot. I almost forgot. I can't forget this. I met a dentist once. He said that, of course, he's a dentist. He said, if the universe is expanding, there has to be a hole beyond. And I told him, you're a dentist. You're supposed to fix up holes. You should know that.
Fix it. Yeah.
It's dark matter. I read some things about these very dark holes in the universe, which actually have lights spinning out in a very low frequency. And as a human, we cannot really register those low frequencies because we cannot explain, so we just consider it dark.
Okay.
So I think it's like ultraviolet waves with a very low frequency, creeping under our ability to catch them.
Spooky.
Well, can be. And then we have the opposite, the IR, the infrared lights that are used for medication, improving your circulation and stuff. That's amazing to me. So we're surrounded by possibilities, and we have an unexplored capability inside. What else is there to say? Or as Milne Nalle Puh, he said, Winnie the Pooh, somehow rivers know this. Someday we will get there. Rivers always know that they will end up in a lake or somewhere. They will reach a goal. It's important not to give up.
Yeah. That's important.
And we need good coaches like you to help us find our roots. How should I find a route when I'm totally at a dead end? How do I do, Michael?
How do? You go somewhere else and start exploring. You find, my favorite saying is find the others. So find the other people who you can take on your expedition, your team, your adventure, your quest, and team up with them. Find the others.
Find the others.
That's nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
Because there are so many quests and expeditions before us to explore and find out about ourselves. and the universe, and the sweet biosphere we live in.
Can I not just sit down and wait?
So the others find you.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. If you're shining and bright enough, they will find you.
Yeah.
They will find me.
They will search for the light. They will go after the light. So if you shine bright, they will find you.
And if I'm not shining, if I'm just mad and
Yeah, then you
bitter.
then you have to shine, or you have to go looking for other shining beings.
Yes. That's what it did, Diogenes, another old Greek. I have lots of names here. I don't know why.
Lots of names.
It's
Yeah.
a name dropping.
Yeah.
Somehow they got glued in here. But he went around with a lantern in the old ancient times. And he said to the Roman soldiers, in bright daylight, I'm looking for a human. And symbolically, I think it's a fun comment.
It is.
Seeing all these soldiers there, I'm looking for a human. Who are you?
Yeah. Human. I have a friend whose daughter became a doctor for a while ago, and she was going to Italy, and she was going to apply for getting into this conference, and they said, man, woman, or doctor.
Oh,
So she put it X in the woman and X in the doctor, and then she get it back, and then they just took away the one in the woman, because are you a doctor, you're either a man or a woman, then you're a doctor.
okay. Wow. It's a judgment.
Yeah, it's a judgment.
How should we do? Maybe we have a lot to work for.
We have they have a lot of work for.
To make things easier.
Yeah, and just be who we are.
Who we are.
Yeah, no one else, just who we are.
Why do
Who
we
we are.
complicate stuff for each
Yeah.
other? Why do we?
I think we try to get away with things, and instead we complicate it. Because if we are brave. When we are brave, just do it. Like Nike, you know, the sports shoe. Just do it.
Just do it. Just
That's a tip when I meet people in my work that are stressed. Just do it, because you're stressed of a conversation you don't want to have, a meeting you don't want to go to, a conflict you don't want to, a child you don't want to tell a bad thing or something like that. You get stressed of things you should do, but you don't. So then just do it, and then stress disappears. I know that's not that easy, but sometimes it is.
I think it's good to hear, Monica.
Yeah.
I'm glad you say it, because that's what makes people so stumped, not letting their emotions grow,
Yeah.
not even giving yourself your own time. You can only be your own enemy, actually. Even if others are harassment, it is still yourself. You can wake up and try to find what is your inner glow.
Inner glow.
Yes.
Inner glow.
And finally you will find somebody who can help you of a tricky situation. Yes.
I can recommend, as my finishing thoughts here, is go look up a song called Nova by a band called V&V Nation. It's about Shine a Light on Me. It's one of my absolute favorite songs, and it's about shining a light on others.
I love it.
It's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good ending.
Yeah.
Shine the light.
Shine
the light.
on others,
Yes.
so they can find you.
Let's call it a day.
Yeah.
We call it a day.
It's perfect.
You found us, and we found you.
Yeah.
I'm happy I got to meet you here.
Same to you.
Same
And
here.
hope we can do something good.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.